Hey again, awesomes. I decided after I got done with the overview video, I thought, well, I think I'll just talk a little bit more about our discussion forum this week and then just kind of review not only the week, but very specifically our discussion forum, section one, just make sure that we feel fairly comfortable about that kind of what we're doing for this weekend, right? It's kind of first part of like starting to draft towards our project one learning writing narrative. And just by way of friendly reminder, obviously, if you found the video, right, you know exactly where we are on our course page, right? Course resources there. And of course, we are still in unit one and we're down here on week 3, right? So you'll see the 2 videos I'm about to post will kind of be in there and I'll take away the coming soon. But here's week 3 discussion forum. And I always like to try to give you and provide you as crystal clear instructions as I possibly can. So it says your initial post due Friday, right? It's fairly straightforward. Post your section 1 body paragraphs draft, right? So if you want to think about it as 3 paragraphs, that's totally fine. That's up to you. You have a paragraph on describing your writing idea, right? What's that sticky learning writing idea that comes to mind when you sit down to write? Your second paragraph, and then kind of tell like the origin stories, like where did it come from? Maybe who gave it to you? How was it presented to you, right? We need those details, if you will, right? So we can then address its stickiness, right? Because the stickiness, if we're going to say it's simple, then we need to be able to point back to and say, okay, remember when I said it's simple, or it hits the simplicity principle, if you will, right? For stickiness, because my 8th grade language arts teacher said, blah, 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 right? Or if it's unexpected, right? I was not expecting my teacher to say da 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 da, right? Or it was concrete because it was so simple, right? Sometimes this might be like make an outline, right? Do an outline 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Or however maybe you're a particular teacher, in 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, 12th grade, whatever it was, ask you to do, right? Or had you do, maybe go through a series of steps. And that's what stands out to you when you sit down to write. Whatever it is, there's no wrong answer, right? What stands out to you about writing? Where'd it come from? Who who gave it to you, right? If you will, how was it presented to you? What are those details? Because in those details, then we can then use those to decide, okay, was it simple? Does it hit the simplicity principle? Is it unexpected? Something inherent in its concreteness that made it stick for you? Was it obviously, depending on where it came from, probably be credible, right? For most of us, maybe if those came from maybe like a high school English teacher or a middle school English teacher or wherever. Did it emotional, right? Did it click with us on some emotional level that made you want to care about doing it, right? So what was the thing that caused an emotion in you to get you to care? I mean, it was delivered in a story, and that story, right? Kind of like think about the kidney story at the very beginning of our introduction of Made to Stick book, right? That story and those details, right? And those vivid details. And in those details, right, of that kidney story lies a lot of unexpectedness, right? If we think about that story and why that story sticks, right? Short, simple, right? Of course, but there's a lot of unexpected details that our brain just is like, oh my gosh, wow, really, right? You wake up in the ice bathtub, kind of a thing. There's a phone there, there's the tube sticking out. There's these, harvesters, apparently on the loose or whatever. So, just told in such a way, right, that makes it stick. All right. Then when you, after you post that, right, and you see some of your other fellow classmates posting, then we're going to do some like peer review, provide some feedback, right? So I provide 5 specific questions for you to think about as you read their draft. How well does section 1 tell a story about a learning writing idea experience? How well does it describe the writing idea, where it came from, how it was presented, and why it's sticky, right? How well does it address the applicable 6 principles of stickiness, right? So it may have 2, it may have 4, it may have 3, right? It doesn't have to have all 6. So please understand that. And then what feedback would you recommend to your peer if they were to revise this particular section? What suggestions would you have? And then tell me, what did you learn by peer reviewing this draft? And I'm thinking here, like, okay, maybe in my draft, I need to go back and make sure I address this thing because I like the way that they did this one thing, right? And of course, as always, be polite, be respectful, be positive, right? We're along on this journey together, right? And I'm right there with you. So happy drafting this week. I'll be back to you, of course, to talk about anything else that I think of, or if I get questions about stuff, I'll talk more about that. You guys stay safe, and above all, stay safe and stay awesome. Bye now.